Hello guys. I'm new to YouTube and the vlogging industry. I'm not gonna give my name, but my channel is Life As You See It. I'm here with my friend today, Batsy, and I'm just here. My first topic is gonna be focusing on mental health illness. I'm gonna try and focus mainly on men, but as in general, as a whole as well, the whole population, females, children, whoever, families, anywhere. But we come from like the southern region of Africa, obviously the southern countries, them being Zimbabwe and Zambia, and obviously we're raised differently, and we've come to this part of the world, which is like obviously the European world, and we've seen certain things with our jobs and working with like the health service and stuff, and you come into contact with different people. So what I've realized is we stigmatize men and expect them not to come forward or be weak or even cry and stuff like that. We just expect them to be the breadwinner of the house or to be the people that should provide for the family. And what I've found is like African men, generally speaking, are not able to come out there and air their views because of what their mother will think or their sister will think, their daughter or anyone else would think, the female side, and then they bottle it up and it builds up and it breaks them, and then you find that's where we're having too many suicides and people just breaking down or going off tangent, doing their own things, doing the wrong things. But my friend will add in a bit now.
Yeah, I don't know. I think yesterday we recorded this before and we're redoing this. But I think from before, just more
statistics.
Or just mentioning about the statistics when it comes to suicidal rates and mental health illness. So basically the rate is more higher in males than in female. So mental health is higher. I mean, well, in women come forward when they're mentally ill, they're more easily to approach services that can help them, whereas men, they don't really go to any services. So I think the statistics, it showed that 77% of the males had high suicidal rates than women when it came to mental health. So it just shows that men are more sort of closed up and
vulnerable
and they don't deal with the situation, they don't communicate the situation. So when it becomes a mental illness, it's because they're not sharing it with people, so it's becoming sort of locked in their mental state and they keep it in, then it just corrupts them and they do things. It doesn't have to be suicide, it can be other things as going off to drugs or like just like weird habits in life. But sometimes when you notice these habits in people, that's where it's always right to sit down with them and just have that conversation and try to understand where they're coming from. So yeah, it's never good to judge people. You have to know where someone is coming from before you start thinking, oh my gosh, why are they doing this? There's always a reason why people are doing things. So yeah, I think mental health is something where people should be open about. And in our culture, African culture, we're sort of built in a way where you're not meant to communicate some things. Some things are meant to be private, some things are not meant to be in the open. So I think it's more so in our culture where I think there's mental health illness, although it's not out there, there's no numbers to say, okay, African men are mentally ill or anything. But I feel because our culture is more closed up, that's why the risk is more than any ethnic. That's what I feel. So yeah, it's always good to have that discussion, especially in our I was gonna say in our culture, sorry, in our community as African people, just to say, okay, this is it's not normal, obviously, but this is something that should be brought on the table.
Addressed, yeah.
And you should actually speak to your kids, because sometimes I've found there's 14, 12, 13-year-olds who suffer with mental health illness, and there's, you know, like in our culture, you don't want to have your child run off to the service to someone else to tell them what they're going through, just because our culture says you can't sit down and talk about issues to do with drugs, sex, or things like that.
We should open up.
So yeah, there should be that door that's open for kids, or even husbands, wives, just anyone to be free to communicate issues with everyday life. So
just build that confidence, like,
yeah,
okay, I can go to my mom and talk to them about it, I can go to my father and talk to them about it, I can go to my wife and talk to them about it, I can go to my sister, and just
no one is going to judge me.
Yes, like we should just try and be warm and receiving of other people, because everyone's different, we go through different things. You don't, like, we live a different life. Obviously we go out to work, we go out to schools, we go out to different places. You don't know what someone is facing in their job or in their friendships or in school. So at least when they come home, that place should be somewhere they know, like, I can open up. And also there's different advice. It's not just from families and friends. You can get, like, from counseling, you can go GP, doctors, and just try and get, there's a lot of services out there that you can get help from. So it's just like men should just open up. Targeting men, but everyone should just open up and go and try and seek help if they need to, because everyone's different at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think that the big issue is to do with communication, because communication does a lot and it opens a lot of doors. If you're not communicating how you feel, it becomes sort of a burden on
you, and the other people don't actually know what you're going through,
yeah,
because you're not telling them what you're going through. So you need to try and open up, and even if they see you as weak, but at least you went there and you be in a better place at the end of the day. So we should just look after ourselves as a society, whether black culture, Asian, European, or wherever you come from, like, just be a whole.
Yeah, so yeah.
Yes, I think we've tried to cover everything.
Yeah.
So we'll come next month with a more different topic. I'm gonna introduce it obviously when the time comes, but please subscribe, like and comment. It's life as we see it. Thank you. See you next time.
All right, see you.
Yeah.